I love architecture and I love music, and I'm completely moved by them both. So I've worked out a way that I can exactly kind of draw the two together. It was pretty obvious with the bridge that, you know, with 52,800 tonnes of steel, that the most appropriate instruments would be brass instruments. So the structure of the score is a linear journey across the bridge. I'm following what the engineers have actually mathematically worked out. If I don't get the mathematics right, it's not going to work. I've worked as an artist probably over 10 years on this, finding similarities between the look of architectural plans and the look of the architecture of music. The most recent project was for Federation Square, and you can actually see the skeletal kind of framework of it. So the piece sounds very angulated and it moves through many moods. As soon as I found out that I was going to translate the Sydney Harbour Bridge into a music score, I decided that I needed to climb inside the structure to get a real feel for it. I think the most impressive thing is that it's tons of steel that is hovering in midair. You look at it and it looks so powerful and triumphant and strong, but then when you go up close, you realise that it's moving and that it's rusting, and you start to feel the fragility and the vulnerability. That's kind of a beautiful thing, is that, like all of us, we have strengths and vulnerabilities. I went to the State Library of New South Wales and the Powerhouse Museum, looking at the details of like the structural machinery and things that put the bridge together. I've also learnt about how the bridge expands with the heat of the sun, and that when they were joining it together, they did it in the night because there was no sun to expand it. This piece actually is dedicated to the 16 men that died. They didn't have the same kind of protection and safety nets and harnesses and things like that that we build with today. That's how I started to write the piece, gathering all that information. In my studio, I have the archival photos, and I also have photos that I've taken. I treat them like a score already. I break the bridge down into molecules, let's say, and it becomes this kind of spread of dots and lines. So it comes abstractly out of kind of those forms in the bridge into that ghost drawing, into music notation, which the musicians can actually play. I'm not looking at it going, oh, it sounds like this or it's that. I'm actually mechanically, I'm mapping it directly into the music score. As it starts to ascend and the bridge gets busier and busier, and all the rivets and the crossbars and the angulations, the piece rises like that too. It becomes more chaotic. And then once it gets to the centre of the bridge, it plays around up there. The gap is closed really in the story of the bridge, and same with the music is happy and sort of quite flighty and quite chromatic up there. And then it descends back down into that weight, into that heavy, loaded hum of the bridge. I could refer to parts of the bridge, even the rust being a dynamic. There's sort of all these shapes that start to look to me like they're saying, I'm a decrescendo, I'm a crescendo, I'm a staccato, I'm a tenuto, like different sort of signs. I feel like it's talking to me. It's extremely intense. I think it's the gift of the sound of it. When I hear it, that is what I work towards. I don't know what my work is going to be when it's finished. So that is a real gift, and that's what I live for, is for that surprise in my artwork. Sydney Harbour Bridge composition is being presented at the Museum of Contemporary Art Australia. So you'll see a whole installation of all my working drawings that I created the score with, and then you'll hear the piece every hour being played through an arched set of speakers. There's also a live performance. I sometimes question it. I think, is this really what you sound like? Yeah. But it's deeply moving for me when I hear it. I hope that I'm getting it right, that I'm actually writing its voice, that what I'm hearing is what it wanted me to pass on into the universe.